anyone who locates a shopping mall opposite an institution of students, where we breed students, like Imaguru College, that we built fantastically well, and you brought a library down and replaced it with a shopping mall, that will discourage the students from reading, it is not the best policy for any responsible government. The future of all of us will rest, so to speak, on the quality of children we are able to raise through quality education and quality upbringing. If we lose it, the truth is that we will have no future.
Concerned Edo State citizens, headed by Dr. Washington Osifo, has stated that the appointment of caretaker liaison officers to head the 18 local government councils of the state by the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, is both unconstitutional and illegal. Speaking on behalf of the group, in a press briefing held on Tuesday, January 17th in Benin City, he said that the appointment of caretaker committees by the governor goes explicitly against Section 7 Sub 1 and Section 1 Sub 2 of the 1999 amended Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You will recall that elected chairmen and councillors of the 18 local government councils of Edo State completed their tenure in office since 2020. However, since then, the governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has refused, neglected to conduct an election to elect other officials for these councils. Rather, he proceeded first by handing over the control and management of these councils to civil servants, tagged head of local government administration, OGA, and the head reigns in office for almost a year and a half. Thereafter, there was a series of scheduling and postponement of elections till recently, when the governor purportedly sent some names of persons to group accolades he unabashedly referred to as Edo State House of Assembly, parading such persons as liaison officers to administer these local government councils. Again, this is an act of illegality that must not be allowed to stand. Accordingly, I proceed to examine and expose the unconstitutionality and illegality of the proposed contraption by which nomenclature it is proposed, by whichever nomenclature is proposed by the governor.
He called on the Edo people to stand unanimously to prevent further encroachment of the governor's dictatorial style of government into the democratic freedom that Edo State is known for.
Since assumption of office by Mr. Godwin Nowerase Obaseki on November 12, 2016, the generic standard governance style has been defined by consistent push to suppress and undermine the principles and values of democratic government. He has continued to lend himself to the vainglory surge of raw instincts and impulses, primarily driven by self-interest and self-preservation. The dictatorial politics of the governor is sharply contradictory and incongruous with the rebooted New World Order anchored on democratization of almost all aspects of life. However, how else can an intelligent natural analyst rationalize the embarrassment of running a democratic governance without legitimate legislatures? How else? How can an Edo State citizen, have a feeling of freedom and liberty in a state where the judiciary has been weakened and manacled? How can citizens of a state be free in an environment where governor announced to the world that security operatives have planned for a part of the capital city, only to wake up in the morning to see bulldozers destroying houses of an entire district under the protection of military tanks?
He called on the Edo State High Court and the Attorney General to uphold the judgment passed in suit number B2OS 2013, Tony Abumere Okonigene versus the Edo State Governor and two others, which specifically prevents the governor from appointing any administrators at the local government council and the legislator from accepting the appointment, and for the court to direct the governor to remove the block he has placed on the conduct of an election, to elect new local government officials, and to put a halt to his incessant anti-democratic policies and proceedings.
It was embarrassing to also hear that even the land that belongs to the NUJ was being threatened. A land given to them by the traditional institution was being threatened, and the ownership was being claimed by a man who knew nothing, who himself, neither himself nor his government, knew nothing about you acquire or how you were given that property. In appreciation for the value that you bring to society, the growth of a society and government. So for me, I even look at the fourth estate of the brain. You are not doing enough. And because you are not doing enough, you are not even encouraging people to do enough. So if we agree that we must speak to fight for democracy, the rule of law, and we believe that it is upon these two pillars that our future will be safely anchored. Therefore, somebody must support what Washington is doing today.
Okpesa Samuel Otoide, Bloomshire, Nigeria.